Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And on this edition, Who That Nation, I decided to put the draft prospect on hold just for this particular day because we got some news coming out of Saints camp. Taysom Hill, he sat down and he spoke to Sports Illustrated. And a lot of people in the Who That Nation have been chiming in on some of his comments. And one thing that Taysom Hill said that has a lot of people buzzing is the fact that he says that he loves playing for the Saints. He loves New Orleans. However, he wants to be known as a franchise quarterback. And if the Saints don't see him as a franchise quarterback, he has no choice but to go somewhere else. And I've been seeing a lot of comments on Facebook, a lot of comments on YouTube videos that have been focusing on this particular topic. And I think a lot of people, are upset. And I don't feel like they need to be. I don't think that you need to be upset at Taysom Hill for these comments. First, before I even tell you why, I just want to talk a little bit about Taysom Hill. First off, Taysom Hill is a really good quarterback. He's a guy that came in a couple years ago. I think we saw that he was a really raw talent. He wasn't accurate. He had a lot of skills, but he didn't know how to use them. And every single year, he gradually got a little bit better. The Saints started to utilize him a little bit more as he familiarized himself with the playbook. And I think a lot of people don't understand how gifted this guy is. This guy plays multiple positions. When guys go to practice facilities every single day, if you're an offensive lineman, you just spend most of the day with the offensive line coach and your fellow offensive lineman. Tight end, same thing. You stay with the position. This guy goes to multiple rooms each and every day. If he's playing mostly tight end throughout the week and going into a game, he has to be in a tight end room. He has to be in a special teams room. He has to be in a quarterback room. So this guy constantly has to be working and moving from room to room and understanding different concepts of the playbook. So you got to get a guy credit for this. Now I want to move on for all those people that's saying that he needs to say goodbye or peace out to Taysom Hill because, he's thinking like this. I want to put you in this position, all right? Let's just say, for example, you're working at a job. You're really good at your job. You want to grow on that job. So you end up like working, a couple years, and all of a sudden your skills start to develop. You're going to start looking for promotions. You're going to start to look to move up the corporate ladder. So my question is to all those people that are saying no, what's the difference between how you feel about your job and Taysom Hill? What's the difference between you believing in your ability and him believing in his ability? And honestly, I don't blame Taysom Hill if the New Orleans Saints don't look at him as a franchise quarterback. Make no mistake about it. This guy has a lot of great skills, but he wants to be a quarterback. And justifiably so, man. I mean, this guy does everything the Saints ask him to do. So I don't feel like us in the Who That Nation can blame the guy because he doesn't throw the football if the Saints don't ask him to throw the football. When he does throw the football, he throws it accurately. He throws it on time. He throws it down the field. And honestly, the throws that he has made throughout the year showed me that he can make all of the throws. The sideline catch by Michael Thomas, the pass down the field by Devontae Harris, the pass just on a laser, I think against the Tennessee Titans when Michael Thomas broke the reception record. He has shown that he can throw the football. He also has shown that he can make good decisions in the RPO game. The league is changing, Who That Nation. The scrambling quarterback is the new wave. The quarterback that can actually improvise on plays is the new wave. The statue quarterback standing in a pocket, waiting for his offensive line to block every single time and don't touch him, they're slowly starting to come to an end. Taysom Hill benefits, and he is part of the new NFL. So you can talk and say, man, this guy goes somewhere else. It's about the system. We hear this all the time. It's about the system. It's about the system. It's about the system. I mean, think about this. If it was the system, Garrett Grayson would have worked out. You know what I'm saying? Not Robert Griffin, but Griffin. You know what I'm saying? RG4. The guy that played for Tulane and also went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ryan Griffin, that's his name. Ryan Griffin. He would have worked out. So it's not always about the system. It's about the talent as well. You have to combine the talent with the system. I mean, we have conversations about wide receivers almost all the time, talking about, how the wide receivers can't get open and stuff like that. Well, if it was the system, then why can't they get open? Why can't the coaches find ways for these guys to get open when they understand their weaknesses? So it's not always about the system. This is a guy that has developed and wants a shot. And I have no problem with that. And the Saints are not going to let him go. I mean, they put a first-round tender on this guy. So that tells you everything you need to know about him, okay? Because if they didn't think that he was really good, they didn't feel like he had a lot of promise, they wouldn't put no first-round tender on this guy. When a team put a first-round tender on a guy, that means they want to keep him for a very long time. Like it or not, Who Dat Nation, I don't see Teddy Bridgewater coming back. And now there's new developments with Phillip Rivers leaving the Los Angeles Chargers. I would be highly surprised if he don't end up in Los Angeles, being a starting quarterback for the Chargers. Teddy Bridgewater has a bright future, and he played himself into elite money that the Saints will not be willing to pay. If he was sitting on a bench and Drew Brees didn't get hurt throughout the season, then maybe we'll have a different conversation. But we can't blame him for being good, and most likely he's going to be out of a job, okay? So that's just the way it is. It looks like Taysom Hill is going to be the successor to Drew Brees, and the Saints are going to pay him. I don't think they're going to pay him like top quarterback money, but they will pay him in the range between $17 to $20 million. And I don't have a problem with that because I see a lot of things in Taysom Hill that shows me that he can be a really good quarterback. And, people are saying like, he hasn't done enough. Well, he's done enough to me to show that he has a lot of promise. And we can't just go by, what we actually just seen a couple years ago, him being hurt and all that kind of stuff there. And we have a right to be wrong. I mean, I'm not saying that I can't be wrong. I mean, we were wrong back then in 2006. If you haven't seen on Facebook, you can check it out on the State of the Saints podcast page. 49% of people did not want Drew Brees back in the day. They wanted to get Matt Leinart or Vince Young. They wanted the Saints to wait in the draft. They did not want a 6-foot-tall, 209-pound quarterback with a questionable arm, bad rotator cuff, and maybe some ligament damage. They didn't want him, okay? But look at Drew Brees now. He's the all-time leading passer, all-time leading completions, and the greatest New Orleans Saint that ever played for this team. So we cannot sit up here and just, talk about a guy and just look and say, he ain't it. Okay, I give the guy the benefit of the doubt. If he proves that he's not it, if he proves that he's not good enough, if he proves that he's not worth it, then you go on. But I'm not saying that I'm not mad at this guy for making that comment. If a team don't want to, gamble on me, if a team don't believe in me, let me go somewhere else where I can show you that I can really be a good quarterback. So for all those people out there that's criticizing Taysom Hill for believing in himself, just put yourself in his position and ask yourself the question, do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your abilities? And should you be punished or ridiculed because you do so? That's all I'm saying. But I would love to hear from you. What do you think about Taysom Hill? What do you think about these comments that he made? And do you think that he is the future of the New Orleans Saints, or do you think the Saints need to move into another direction post Drew Brees? Comment down below, like and share this video. This has been the State of the Saints podcast. I am TJ Jones, and please subscribe to the new podcast entitled the State of the Game podcast that is available on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and also Facebook.com search the State of the Game. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?